It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage at the Calgary International Film Festival. My name's Bryce and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey!
And Murray's not here, right?
Where's Murray?
Where's Murray?
Murray.
Here, Murray?
Are you there? Or was he in this door? Nope. I think he's working.
Oh well. I guess with the introductions out of the way then, let's rage on.
All right. Well, before we jam into things, we're just going to do one quick promo for All the Horror, which is a fantastic podcast event that we're going to be taking place in October, which is coming up very quickly. So stay tuned for all that. Check out All the Horror 18 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, check out the charity that's being supported by this fantastic event by all these great podcasters at Shares That Care. .org. Yeah, sometimes someone cares that shares. No, that doesn't make sense. It's shares.care.org. And before we go into that, we're just going to do another quick promo for good friends of ours on the social web media thingamabobber called Shoot the Flick. And these guys are super cool. And I don't know why I'm having technical difficulties, but we are. So yeah, we're just going to do what we've been doing the last little while. And we're going to play a quick clip from our friends at Shoot the Flick. So make sure to check these guys out and yeah, love them as much as we do.
This is Frankie Sparks.
And this is Sky Eisenberg.
We are Shoot the Flick.
Yes, an official Paradoja podcast.
Every Wednesday, Scott and I introduce each other to a brand spanking new movie that the other one has never seen. We talk about it, give our thoughts on it, and also share some behind-the-scenes fun facts.
We want you guys to come enjoy watching the movie with us.
Yes, so check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Shoot the Flick. Check out our weekly episodes every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, and pretty much anywhere else you can find a podcast.
We hope you guys give us a listen soon.
Bye!
Shoot the Flick. You guys are cool. Let's get the funk. CIFFcalgary.ca. It's now a spoken word poem by Jim called CIFFcalgary.ca. C. I see outside. I like to see outside. F. To see things from the inside to the outside. It's F. Another F that I already talked about. F. Calgary. The city where I live. The people that I know. The place that I love. CIFFcalgary.ca. Poem by Jim.
That was brilliant.
Thank you. Now I just need a beanie, some cannabis, iced cappuccino latte maybe. And then I want to talk about the wolves.
Why don't we just skip to that?
Los Lobos. Okay. So remember my 3 classes of kids for all those who are regular listeners to our show? Number 1 is little brats who I want to punch into the face. Number 2, creepy little fuckers that I love because they appeal to my creep love and creep crushes. And number 3, and finally number 3, these kids in this movie, which are the most adorable kids, which makes up about 3% of all kids in movies. There's not a lot of them, but these kids nailed it. I loved these kids.
Tell me how you really feel,
in a
Jim.
very appropriate way. This movie was dread, more dread, then a little bit of joy, then more dread, and then it ended with some joy. I loved this Mexican heartwarming gem. These kids, I just wanted to hug them and tell them how adorable they are and pinch their little cheeks and give them candy for Halloween. After the dread, though, this movie, it really brought out the kindness of people, and it brought hope for humanity in this world of sadness, and it's specifically world of sadness contained within this movie. And it's interesting, as we were watching this movie, both of us kind of went, how the hell are they going to end this movie? And As much as you were thinking, yes, they're going to go to Disneyland.
I never thought that.
I was hoping, but I kind of knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But it still ended on a pretty damn awesome note. So for a movie that ended, in my opinion, on a very happy note, I love this movie a lot. It gets, you kids are the cutest little buttons I've ever seen, Mondo.
Cool.
So far, it might have been my favorite film of the festival, by the way.
I do not blame you for that. The Wolves, or Los Lobos, this is actually the runner-up for the Best International Narrative Feature at the Calgary International Film Festival.
Which they announced before the festival began.
so
So tells you guys what you should watch for sure.
Yeah, and you should definitely check this out. It is the story of Lucia, played by Martha Reyes Arias, and her two sons, who are played by real-life brothers.
What? That's why they connected so well.
Yeah. Starting over in a new land. The unfortunate realism sets in from the start as they look for an apartment. On the periphery, we can see the neighborhood they settle on is disadvantaged with gangs, drug addiction, poverty. But none of this was presented in an exploitive way. A lot of the story focuses on the two boys who surprisingly just carry this movie really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
They are left to their own devices alone in the apartment as mom has to go make some money with her two jobs. During this time, we get introduced to various neighbors. Mrs. Chang, played brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly by CC Lau, becomes a bigger part of this story as the tale plays out. Her character shows the humanity that exists in a place that sometimes is a little less than humane. There is so much to unpack here. I don't feel that I can touch upon it all. This movie had sorrow. It had joy. It really made me care about this family. Let me leave you with this. Lucia had 7 rules for the boys, and rule number 7 states, always hug each other after a fight. That's a good rule, and this was a Mondo movie.
Which she, soon after making the rules, broke that rule.
I know! And
How dare her?
And one of the youngsters was kind of calling her on it. He's
Yeah.
like, what's the deal?
If
She's
she
not
can
following-
if she can't make the rules, if she can't follow the rules, then I'm not following the rules. And he broke, I think it was rule number 3.
Yeah, he immediately broke a rule. He's like,
Screw this. I'm out of here.
I tell you, such a good movie.
The other thing that I thought was really cool about this film was the animation clip that they put in there, because
I
these
forgot
kids,
to mention that.
Yeah, the
That was
animation.
awesome.
The animation was awesome. They
They
had
did it a couple times. It
they
was
had built these
fantastic.
characters that they were each, and they each drew their own ninja wolf character.
Ninja wolves.
Yeah, it was so adorable, and but not in a I don't know. I normally don't like things that are adorable unless it's done well, and this was done so natural and innocent that you just couldn't stop. I love it, the fact. Actually, another part of this movie that I really love that I have to mention.
Yep.
So the mom, I mean, she's got holding down 2 jobs. She's, her husband's not around. She's in the U.S., came from Mexico, and she's having a real tough time, and the kids were busting her balls a little bit because she's like, you just got to do these things, and then we're going to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so they did it, and they said it was her Sunday, which was her day off, and she was trying to get her sleep. And they're like, we want to go to Disney. We want to go to Disney. And she lost her shit on them, and then she went and locked herself in the bathroom and fell asleep. And then they're like, we got to take a piss. So creative little kids that they were, they decided we're just going to piss in the sink. And it just little tiny things like all through this movie, they just were so respectful. And you just think, I don't think real boys are actually like this. These kids are like, these
I
kids
bought
have
these
superpowers. You know
They're
how
awesome.
like puppies and kittens have superpowers of cuteness? These little kids have those superpowers. Everybody needs to see this movie. You will. I can't see anybody not loving this movie.
No. That's an impossibility.
Yeah, it's an impossibility. Well, that's a good segue to the next movie, which I have a feeling a lot of people might not love as much as Bryce's. But let's let him tell us about it, because I'm not going to have as much to say about this.
Oh my goodness. This is like the best movie that I've seen at the festival.
Yeah.
So far, I'm hoping I'll see something better. I can't imagine.
When I read the synopsis, I pretty much could have predicted that.
At any rate, the movie's called Father, not to be confused with The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins. This is a Serbian film from director Serdan Golubovic. This film grabs you violently in the first scene,
Yeah.
and then tightly holds on to you for the rest of the film. In the first scene, we see a mother accompanied by her 2 children light herself on fire in protest.
Yes.
I mean, man, do we jump into the fire?
Yeah, right into the fire.
From there, we were introduced to her husband, Nicola, played by Goran Bogdan. After the events in the opening scene, Nicola is told that his 2 kids have been taken away and he cannot get them back unless certain conditions are met. So Nicola pools all his resources to meet the requirements that he has been given as it relates to the living conditions for his children. And at this point, Vasiljevic, the local authority figure played by Boris Isakovich,
There you go.
there we go, denies his petition to regain his children, even though he had met the conditions. Knowing that his appeal would be ignored, if he sends it through usual channels, Nicola, now literally penniless, sets out on foot to walk hundreds of miles so that he can place the petition personally in the hand of a high-ranking official. We then watch Nicola trek through the countryside, brilliantly shot with no music. The fact that no score was used in this was another of the brilliant decisions made by the director, as it made us feel more a part of the journey rather than being a spectator. Along his expedition, nothing really good happens. I feel as though most people would just turn back, especially since at this juncture, I would imagine anyone watching this film would infer that this is probably an exercise in futility for our protagonist. But
Especially when he almost drops dead.
But Nicola has it in his head that if he does this, he will know, and hopefully his children will realize, the lengths he would go to fight for them. On his journey, he encounters good and bad people. He makes friends with a stray dog, only to find it dead on the road the next day. The guy just can't get a break. The performances in this were so good, especially from the lead. Nicola's quiet and respectful way of dealing with everyone around him while keeping down the undeniable rage that must have been boiling inside of him was portrayed perfectly by Goran Bogdan. And Boris Isakovich as Vasiljevic plays one of the most evil SOBs I have experienced in film in recent memory. His performance had me absolutely hating him. This was one of the best movies I've seen this year. I was walking right beside Nicola the whole way and pulling for him every step. This was an understated yet brilliant character study of a man who's almost saintly in his patience and respect for the people around him. This was a super mondo.
Just 2 supers? It sounds like it should have been super duper or super.
Uh-huh.
Just 2? Okay. I'm a little surprised, actually.
It was amazing. This was an amazing film.
All right. Okay.
Loved every scene.
I know you did.
There was nothing that I would change.
I know you wouldn't. Nothing. So let me tell you what I thought about it.
All right.
This was the
Mondo.
complete opposite of a Travel Serbia promo commercial. This really made Serbia look like a giant dump site, pretty much for the entire walk. There were things I did really love about this film. All the walking was not one of them. I had a few realism issues with this right off the bat. First off, they are dirt, and I say dirt poor, and yet he's got brand new beautiful shoes that he walks over 300 kilometers in. Plus, he has amazing sweaters. You know my love of sweaters, and he has some really good ones. Almost too good for a poor person. Not one hole in any of those sweaters. Plus, having too much love for your kids and wife doesn't mean you live your life in a stupid way. Unlike you, I do not have too much sympathy for idiotic people. He walks over 5 days, 300 plus kilometers, when he could have did a day or 2, or maybe even 3 of work, and then hopped on the bus. Yet, we are supposed to be heartbroken for this guy. Who can't plan a 300-kilometer trip properly? I get a little tired of all the walking, and this was always relying on, as I want to say, he was always relying on the kindness of strangers. Loved the ending a lot. In fact, I thought that was the best part of this movie. I thought that Goran Bogdan did an amazing job as Nicola. Liked the humanity and the inhumanity that's pretty much everyone in this film. There was no in between in this. There wasn't a character in this movie that was either kind of half human and kind of not half human.
The lady that worked there at the office
at the beginning, she was inhuman, but then she switched to having humanity. Like there was no in between.
Okay.
During the beginning part where she was being an inhuman bag of hammers, she like everybody else was treating this guy like he's just some poor dick, right? So I did actually really like this movie. I couldn't get it to a Mondo because I personally felt, and it's mostly because I'm not in love with as much walking as you are. So, and I do have a problem.
Walking was just a bonus, Jim.
The walking was not a bonus.
Oh, it was.
There was just too much walking. And I can't get past sometimes where you're watching the movie and you're going, okay, the casting is amazing. The cinematography is fantastic. You know, the editing was done brilliantly. Your comments about the music were super fantastic. But it's the details. These people are dirt poor, and he's got fucking brand new Nikes that he's walking around in. They might have been Nokis, but they were still brand new. They were still white when he got to the place he was going. Like, these are details, people. If you're gonna make a perfect Mondo movie, make sure everything. His sweater should have had holes. They shouldn't have been as fantastic as they were.
He had a fantastic wife that probably darned his sweaters.
Really? Was she that fantastic? She lit herself on fire in front of her fucking kids.
Yeah, but
how great is that? But first, she was planning on burning them with her. She made the promise that I'm gonna. Oh, right. She was pushed to lighting herself on fire. Okay, how many people that we know who've lit themselves on fire?
We don't know that
exactly
because we've never felt what this family was going through. 100%. Jim. You live in your ivory tower, looking down on the rest of all the little peons.
I do live in an ivory tower. But even I don't have brand new white unspotted Nikes and 2 beautiful sweaters. I have 1 beautiful sweater, and that's as much as I can afford.
Anybody watching this movie is going to listen to your review and think that you are coming off as a jackass.
I hope they do. I want people to see this movie. It's good. I just kind of wish it was about 20 minutes less.
Oh, whatever.
I think there could have been 20 minutes of editing.
This needed no editing.
Yeah, and the other thing, he met with the assistant, not the real commissioner guy. He's settled,
but he didn't hand over the letter.
I know, but
the guy read the letter. He gave it back to them.
He said, "I'm not until I see the minister." And here he met with the assistant.
You know what? After all he went through,
you're gonna give him a break.
Plus the assistant. Anyways, I don't want to give anything away, but. This movie was fantastic. Watch it.
It's a good movie. I did like it. I did like this movie. I just, like I said, I thought it was a little long for me.
We're early in the festival, but best of the festival so far. I completely agree with the jury that picked it as the best international feature. It absolutely was the best international narrative feature I've seen so far.
And I would have picked Los Lobos over this one.
So, and you know what? That was the runner-up. So they were both excellent. But one was Mondo and one was Super Mondo.
One was Mondo and one was meh. And on that note, remember, CIFFcalgary.ca, where you can check out all the things available CIFF. For those of you who are listening to us outside of Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, please check out the movies that they're playing because they're going to be playing at some festivals near you. Or just go online when they get released. Some of these have actually been released into video on demand, I think, right? Hey, Bryce? I think there was a couple titles that have been released since the festival started. So check that out. I don't know what all the names are, but go on their website and check out what's available. Almost every movie we've seen so far has been pretty fantastic, except one. So keep looking at it. So.
Yes.
Thanks for listening today. Check us out tomorrow. Tomorrow, no, Merman won't be back, but he'll be back the next day. So thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Merman, who's actually working like a dog this week while Bryce and I are on holidays. Thanks to Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Bramble, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check out our website at filmrageyyc.com. We're always wanting your feedback to make this raging blast for all listeners, so please comment often. And please please make us rage. That's it for today. Listen to us tomorrow. Rage on.
Rage on!